all of us sitting here to say those confidence ratings or those confidence levels, is that what we represent, or do they represent us as members of parliament? And if we are happy that this is what represents us, or if this is what we represent, we will continue to work as if there is nothing that reflects on how we do our work. But my feeling is that all of us here, and which I will also urge all of you, is that we have been appointed from a position of incompetence. And every day when we do our work, let's find a way to do better so that we can improve from the incompetence that anybody outside looking at us would say, we have elected these men and women, but in some way, this is what they have done, and we don't think that it represents us as South Africans. So we have a duty here to raise the flag of the Parliament of the Republic and reignite the confidence of the people of South Africa in Parliament as an institution that can represent them to the best of its abilities. Honorable members, I want to thank you so much and hope that we are going to work together. I was very impressed when I arrived here, Chief Whip. Almost everybody was here. This is the kind of attitude and work ethic that will take us to greater heights, and I want to give you 100% for the manner in which we responded to the call, and also thank the organizers of this meeting, the Secretariat, for the work that you have done. The committee is meeting for the first time today. The Secretariat informs me that the purpose of today's meeting was to elect the chairperson. That was the only item on the agenda, but because I know we are politicians, we can't meet and elect a chairperson and say, no, the meeting is dismissed, must go. What I want to propose is that the Secretariat, because I see in this meeting there is a significant presence of people from the legal section of Parliament. They have to go and develop terms of reference for the committee and its program. So the next meeting, the sooner they conclude that, we must get into the next meeting and adopt those terms of reference. That will also give maybe what I will also suggest is that once the terms of reference are done, they should be circulated to all of us, so that when the next meeting is called, we shall have gone through those terms of reference. If there are any inputs that we want to make, we will come and make them in that meeting, and then we finalize the terms of reference, including the program of the committee. And then I think once we have debated this item, we have agreed, we can allow each one of us to formally introduce themselves and the parties from which they come. And then if there is not any other matter that the members will want us to discuss, we can thereafter dismiss the meeting. Can I check if I have proposed that we speak on the terms of reference? Can I check if there is any other item apart from the term of reference which members may want to suggest that we also look at? Okay. Can I then take hands of members who want to make inputs on the terms of reference? It can be the time frame, it can be the content, it can be anything that members will want to speak about. Honorable Skosan.
Thank you, Chair. As you've already said that there's a legal team here which are going to formulate the terms of reference. My question to you, I'm in particular concerned about the time frame in particular, because if you say to us that they are going to go, but you don't tell us exactly when are we going to start. We know that we are on leave. It's ending on Friday, and there's a constituency week. But I think it's very important for all of us to know exactly when those, the time frame in particular. Let me just put it like that.
I request to make a proposal.
Oh, you want me to make a proposal?
Yeah.
Can they finish by Friday this week?
You propose that the terms of reference be done by Friday.
By the end of the week, yes.
And then when do they circulate them?
On the day, on Friday.
Okay. So
thank you.
By 5 o'clock close of business on Friday, the terms of reference must have been released to committee members. That is our proposal. Chief Whip, your hand was up.
No, thanks, Chair. I think maybe the first thing is to congratulate you for your election into the position of the chair of this ad hoc committee. I would like to agree with what the Honourable Mkhwanazi is suggesting, and the reason why I'm comfortable with the proposal he's making is because the team already has a document through which they are going to be working on. Because the motion that was presented and adopted by the National Assembly already details what this committee is required to work on. Of course, it may not be sufficient. I would imagine it's not. But I think there is already a base through which the team must work on to determine the work of this committee in terms of the terms of references. So I think Friday is not necessarily unreasonable. The team can advise us if by then, through you, Chair, they will not be ready with what is required, and we can deal with that. The other proposal I want to make is that in the light of the fact that we are currently, where are we? We're on recess. And the next week or so, we're going to be starting our constituents' work. And given the fact that I think in the next week or two, I don't know, there might be the start of the work of the Commission of Inquiry. Would it not be possible for us to agree that in the month of August, we get a venue for us to work from Gauteng? Because practically, I think it's easy to travel to Gauteng for all of us, irrespective of where you come from, because of the flights in the country. But secondly, for practical reasons, let's say our work is unfolding simultaneously with the Commission of Inquiry, and I believe there might be witnesses we want who are also expected to go to the Commission of Inquiry. So it might be possible, if we are not far from each other, to get our work not disrupted by the schedule of the Commission of Inquiry, because we also have to report to Parliament by the 31st of October. So that's the reason why I think if we agree, we might have to say in the month of August, we work from Gauteng, and then we come back to Cape Town maybe when Parliament reopens on the 4th or 5th of September. That's what I wanted to suggest. Thanks.
Okay. Number one, let me check. Do we agree that the terms of reference will be released on Friday? There is work that has been done by Parliament already. So it should be easy to get the terms of reference released. What agreed? Number two, Honorable Nduli is proposing that if you follow his proposal, it means the next meeting will not happen here. And maybe some activities of the committee for the month of August will not happen here. Do we agree? Honorable Skhosana?
I just wanted to find out when he says August, because it's August now. Do you mean Will it starting next week or before the end of the month?
No, what he's saying that any time this month when the work starts, because Parliament is on recess. Yeah. Do we agree with that? And he's also suggesting that the venues for, I don't know, maybe even beyond August, because if we don't know what is happening in the executive, we must not presume. If the commission that has been appointed by the executive does its work in Gauteng, and we also have sessions that we must run, we may have problems with the availability of people who may want to come and present or the witnesses. So even beyond that, we may have to look at where we do our work so that we don't have unnecessary delays. Honorable Vessels, your hand was up. Honorable Matthias, after Vessels.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. Let me also congratulate you on your election and wish you the very best with this important task. Chairperson, I support the proposal by Honourable Skosana on the timeline as we agreed now. And I also want to reiterate that I think the terms of reference, as the Honourable Chief Whip also alluded to, is already there in the establishment motion, and but we should have agreement on the terms of reference, because if we are not going to be concise on the terms of reference, we are not going to do a good job of this this committee's work. And as you put it very well, it's very important to restore the trust of the people out there in this institution, and that is why it's important that we agree on a workable terms of reference. Then I also support the suggestion that we do our work for August, especially in Gauteng. I would be careful and caution against saying that we do our work there all the time. When Parliament resumes, I think we should try our best to meet in Cape Town, because it's going to be difficult for members who has other responsibilities in committees and so forth if we continue to meet there in Gauteng. Thank you, Chair.
Honourable Matthias.
Thank you, Chair. Just some input on the terms of reference. I would suggest that we allow political parties maybe to send some written submissions so we can find expression in the first draft. So I think it'll save us a lot of time when we reviewing them on Friday. So if you could just circulate who we can send those submissions for. And just on the issue of us establishing, or maybe in the month of August, moving to Gauteng, we obviously in agreement with that. But let's just be cautious on highlighting that we must work with the Commission of Inquiry, like that is more important than what the work we are doing here, and us moving or having our ad hoc committee in Gauteng is more of a secondary to the Commission of Inquiry. We must be careful, and we must be carefully guided that this is a very, very separate process, and we are not relying on the Commission of Inquiry to be able to get our witnesses, etc. Let's not put ourselves on the back burner, and we've just started. Thank you, Chair.
Okay. Honourable Cameron.
Thank you, Chair. Firstly, congratulations as well. I want to just, I actually wanted to emphasize what Honourable Matthys said. I don't think we must allow for the Commission to dictate how we do our work. Obviously, we shouldn't clash, and we should be able to work in a way complementing each other. But it's critical that Parliament is able to do the work that it's been mandated to do. And I think we're perfectly positioned to do exactly that. And then just what Honourable Wessel said as well with regards to September, that we try and also for cost effectiveness try to do as much as we can here, because I know that money is tight, and it's something that I think we should also set an example with in the way that we conduct our business. Thank you, Chair.
Honourable Malema.
Thanks, Chair, and congratulations for your elections as a chairperson. I fully agree with the venue as proposed, but I will suggest that we request a free venue, either a hall or a chambers of the council or legislature, that we don't incur any cost in the execution of this responsibility. And even encourage the commission to do the same, to go and look for a venue that is available for such work, because we must not cost our people a lot of money. The other issue which I would want us to deal with, and I agree with Honorable Mateis on us making submissions on the terms of reference, because I want us to deal with the aspect of the criminals who are already in prison, who might share a lot of information with us. Very dangerous criminals. How do we get them here? Can we summon them here? And all of that. Because you're talking drugs, if you're talking drugs and drugs cartel, you must know you're talking about some of the people who are already in prison, who might share a lot of light. So we need terms of reference that will clarify some of those things. Chairperson, thanks.
Honorable Skosano.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. I just want to make a remark, and hopefully you'll understand where I come from on this matter. You know, the biggest concern when when you go back, you look at all the ad hoc committees in Parliament, you look at the Judicial Commission of Inquiries, the last line of defense is in Parliament. You know what happened with the former Chief Justice Chris Ngobo. The matter was taken to Parliament. What happened? It was a wasteful expenditure, because comrade closed ranks. So I hope this time, whatever happens, when this matter comes to Parliament, justice will be seen to be done. Because now we've taken a public purse. We wasted that money. It's like a fruitless expenditure. It pains our people even today that after that commission was established and the findings were there for anyone to see, but what happened? It was just a piece of paper. They came to Parliament, us as members, we're not honorable, as you said, that we must bring the dignity of this Parliament. No one must be protected in this ad hoc committee and in that Judicial Commission of Inquiry, irrespective of positions that people want to close ranks because they want to protect, they want to maintain the status quo. This is a time where South Africa must raise. General Mkhwanazi has raised the bar, and Parliament must do that as well. I thank you, Chair.
Okay. Honorable members, I think we agree. Honorable Matthijs has made a very proactive suggestion here, and I think we must take it that even before the preliminary terms of reference are released, political parties, if they want to make proposals, that can be forwarded to the committee secretariat. And then on Friday, the preliminary terms will be released. Political parties will make consideration of those preliminary terms of reference. And then when we meet in our next meeting, we should be able to adopt the terms of reference and the program of the committee. And then the suggestion or the matter which Honorable Malema raised with regard to how we bring people who are in jail, I think it's a matter which at your level, the technical committee and the legal services in Parliament should then consult national legislation applicable. Yeah. One day I met somebody who was asking a question: how do you put a president in jail, because the bodyguards must always be within 10 meters. Can you close the president inside of the prison cells and say to the bodyguards, go home? They say no, by law we must always be within 10 meters. And there is no law in South Africa which provides for the imprisonment of a president. In the event is imprisoned, what becomes the position of the bodyguards in jail? Do they stay there at the prison door forever? Yeah, I mean, those are some of the dilemmas that we come across. So, do those privileges work in prison? Yeah, you see, I think it's a matter which the legal section of Parliament will have to help us, so that we must not be accused of having aided the escape of dangerous criminals from prison. I think let's leave it at that. Honorable Skhosana, some of those matters that you raised, we will deliberate about them in our future meetings. I don't think that they will be lost. Can I check, honorable members, if there is still anything further? Honorable Sangwen.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair, and let me join other members who have congratulated you on your election. Chair, I heard you saying that in the next meeting we would seek to adopt the terms of reference as well as the program of the committee. I think I'm looking for clarity in terms of the determination of the program of the committee. Will it be the technical team who's doing that? Because from the terms of reference, we need to then be able to identify who it is that we would wish to call, and I don't think that those issues we would be able to be prescriptive on ahead of time. If I could just be clarified on that one, Chair.
Yeah. Who is the senior legal person here from Parliament? The question that Honorable Sangweni raises here must be answered by yourselves, because it's your work to say this is what we are going to do. We are going to get proposals from political parties here, but we will also use the motion that the Chief Whip has spoken about, which has been presented and adopted by Parliament. And then the terms of reference will be released on Friday. Political parties will look at them, and then the next meeting we will discuss them. If we reach an agreement that we adopt them, they will be adopted. But in case we say no, they need to be further reworked. That will be a decision of the meeting until all of us are satisfied that these terms of reference represent what we want to achieve. That is my understanding, but I think the senior legal person here can take us through.
Good morning, Chairperson. Not that I'm senior, Chair, but but I come from legal services. Chairperson, the way we see it is that first and foremost, you are correct in saying there's been a lot of work that has been done. I mean, in the background, and I think if you were to ask from ourselves, we already have draft terms of reference, Chairperson. And of course, in the next 2 or 3 days, those can be released. I mean, to members. I mean, for comments. Our main worry is that if you say we must wait for inputs from political parties, then that impacts the timelines. Whereas what we could do, Chair, we could simply circulate a draft, and of course, people would be able to comment on it. And of course, Chair, another thing is, there's a lot of backroom legal technical support which needs to take place, and some of the issues we can deal with them when we meet in the management meeting, of course, under our leadership, Chairperson. Because Honorable Sangweni is correct, I mean, in saying the witnesses will have to be identified. And of course, Chairperson, I'm saying this with the greatest of respect. What General Mkhwanazi said, Chairperson, on the 6th of July, 2025 is not evidence, Chairperson, in a technical sense. And of course, one would need a legal person to go around speaking to people will be able to corroborate what Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi said. And of course, as you can imagine, Chairperson, the committee, I mean, cannot do that. And of course, you need, sworn statements from witnesses drafted and so on and so on. So that's the kind of work we think will be taking place over the next 2 to 3 weeks, Chairperson. But if you were to say, what is our firm or concrete proposal, Chairperson, is that the draft terms of reference be circulated, and of course, members or even different political parties can comment on them, we firm them up. We have a meeting where they are considered. Of course, consider means the committee may either adopt or not adopt them. I'm not sure the Chairperson if
we are not saying that you must wait for the. What Honorable Matthias was saying is that before Friday, when the preliminary terms, remember they remain preliminary until the committee adopts them. What she was essentially saying is that it's a proactive step to say, can we as political parties deposit our proposals so that at the time you release your final draft, it incorporates what we would have. She's not saying let's wait for us. When that draft has served in a meeting, the meeting can look at it and decide that this is inadequate. Let's go back and add the following. And if the meeting is happy on that day, then the meeting will say, look, we are happy with these terms of reference. It's something that we can work on. Let the work of the committee begin. So we are cognizant of all the things, the backroom work that has, behind the scenes work that has to happen. and we have said that because you may have some form of expertise in this field, the committee will rely on your guidance to say, these are the things that you can do, like what you are saying when you say what the police commissioner said on that day is not evidence. Obviously, in the meeting, we are going to give you a chance to make a presentation, and you will be able to explain what you mean when you say that is not evidence, so that we must be at the same level of frequency. Is that understood? Okay. Honorable Ntuli, Honorable Malema, Honorable Nomvalo, Honorable Skosana, Honorable Mngango.
No, thanks, Chair. No, I wanted to say, because the legal team is saying that they've already done some work, my suggestion is that let that work be made available to us as soon as possible. But in addition to that being done, let's also agree that in support of the proposal made by Honorable Matthias, that we as political parties represented or members represented in this committee, let's put a time frame for us to have our submissions also made by Friday. And I was going to say Friday, 12 o'clock during the day. So that what we receive from the team between now and Friday helps us to make up our mind whether we need to make additions or not. Because it may very well be that what they have already worked on takes into account what each one of us may be thinking must be added on the terms of references. So my firm proposal is that let's have that being released as soon as it could be possible. But the deadline for us is that by Friday, 12 o'clock during the day, we have our own submissions made so that they can be consolidated into one proposal that will in turn be resent back to all of us. So that by the time we meet to discuss the terms of references, we are familiar with what has been added by various members who are represented in this committee. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Chair. I agree with what the Chief will be saying, but you are all ignoring a very important proposal made by Honorable Matthias. Just give us the person who must send the proposals to. It's as simple as that. And then the proposals by end of Friday, midday, then they are closing. But if you give us a person now who will submit while seated here, because we've got those things. We didn't come here to play. We came here ready. And I don't know what is this remark that General Mkhwanazi is not what he presented is not evidence. I don't know where does that arise, because it doesn't arise at all. We're just trying to get an advice on how those things can be dealt with. General Mkhwanazi, you can't say what he presented is not evidence. We'll deal with that. We're still dealing with terms of reference. We can't start by saying General Mkhwanazi, what he said is not evidence. That's very dismissive. Right at the beginning, we're starting on a wrong footing. So please, when people are asked, especially support staff, they must not enter into the terrain. They must just give us technical advice and leave the rest to us. Because we're not going to live here being part of a remark that says what Mkhwanazi said is not evidence. Thanks, Chair.
Yeah, thank you very much. No, largely covered by the two speakers who have spoken before me. I just wanted to put an emphasis on the fact that the terms of reference, the draft that has been made already, must be circulated today so that we can go and consult our parties, because we also want to hear the sentiments of the parties that we are representing here. And then we send the submissions before the end of business on Friday. I just wanted to say that, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Bari kia go lebogisa mokone. Uche ubusy. Ngiyakuthokozisa. Ngesikhethu ngiyakuthokozisa.
No, kwasitebele njalo.
I was a bit disturbed as well, like my colleagues, the remark by the legal team. And I'm still saying again, Chair, in our joint sitting, the chief legal advisor is not here even today. Now, for me, it's like, I'm not sure, maybe it's the chair of the Justice Committee knows why he's not here. I'm not sure, but the issue is that the chief legal advisor again is not here, and we've raised that in the joint sitting. And for me, it's disturbing that in this serious meeting where we are told there's legal advice, but the guy who's leading them is not here, or the lady who's leading them is not here. And the question is why, Chair? Next time this thing must not happen. If they want to work with us, and they should not, guide us, like our own members have already said, that what Mkhwanazi said is not evidence, it's disturbing. Then why are we here? Are we here for gossiping? No, we are not here for that. Mkhwanazi presented, he attached evidence in that press statement, and we are going to deal with that here. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Member. It was Mwango before the Honorable Member from the DA.
Well, thank you, Honorable Chairperson. I also take the cue on those who have already congratulated you on your elections. Most of what I had actually also wanted to say had been covered. Safe to say that I was also equally very disturbed to hear that Mkhwanazi's revelations actually are not evidence. I think that was actually defeating the purpose of this session. And my second concern is the absence of the chief legal advisor, because for me this is a critical start of this process of investigation. So for me it is very, very crucial that we start from a solid foundation, solid legal foundation as well. So I am raising my concern that the chief legal advisor is not here to ensure that we actually have a smooth takeoff, as it were, of the processes and the functions of this committee. Thank you.
Okay. You can follow, Honorable Member.
Thank you, Chairperson. Congratulations from my side too. Just for clarity, my surname is Schikkeling. I think part of what we should be doing today is we've now heard we're going to submit our terms of reference, but we're not getting to any time frame. And I think as a committee we must commit to a date next week where we can have a meeting to discuss these terms of reference. And I think for the sake of expediency and cost containment, it can be virtual. It's not that we're going to have a massive meeting. It is just for the terms of reference, just to speed up the process, because otherwise it is expensive to get everybody together. And I think just for a way forward for us today, so that we know by Friday we will get the terms of reference. We have until Monday or Tuesday to give feedback, and perhaps next week, Wednesday, we can have a virtual meeting so that we can get the ball rolling and have a express date of when we will be carrying on. Thank you, Chair.
You were the last, Honorable Ngola.
Thank you very much, Chair. Sorry. I want to first make a disclaimer that the Chief Legal Advisor of Parliament is not part of the Justice Committee. They are in the office of the Speaker, but I think the proposal may be, given the nature of the issues we ought to deal with, we prefer that the Chief Legal Advisor be deployed to the work we're going to be doing to assist the committee, of course, without sounding as though that we don't take serious the legal advisors that are here, but they can work as a team being led by the Chief Legal Advisor. I think I want to also second that as when we undergo this process of submissions and inputs on the terms of reference and the program, at least by next week, if we are to set a time frame of Friday, at least by next week, Tuesday, we must have been able to sit a meeting, even if it's virtual as proposed, to deal with two issues, the terms of reference and the program of the committee. I'm sure by now, Chair, when we leave here, you would have been able to establish your own management committee that is going to be led by you to deal with some of the technical, deep, detailed issues, so that when we come to a broader committee meeting, at least there is work that has been done through your office and your technical team. Thank you very much, Chair.
Look, honorable members, I think we have spoken enough on these matters. Otherwise, we are going to end up discussing things that we must not discuss. We have agreed on the preliminary terms of reference that they must be released by Friday. And we have also agreed that proposals that parties may want to make must be, where do they send them? Where do they send? When you say to us, you must speak on the microphone and say, I'm Pilot Kwebu, send to me.
You can send the proposals to myself, pkwebo@parliament.gov.za.
What we will do, honorable members, a WhatsApp group will be created for the committee, and all those details will be forwarded there. It may not be him alone, whoever is in the secretariat. Their emails, their details will be sent. Yeah. The part that has been said by the guy from legal about what is evidence and what is not evidence is subjective. Let's not dwell on it. No, I'm saying it's subjective on his part. He can't decide for us what is evidence and what is not evidence. That's what I'm saying, Honorable Skosan. Thank you. Yeah. It's unfortunate that it has been said here. Yes. He can't say it even before we agree on the terms of reference. The terms of reference will be the one that tell us that this is evidence or it is not evidence. Yeah. So, Honorable James.
Thank you so much, Chairperson. Yes, that statement was completely out of line. based on the allegations that were made by General Mkhwanazi and the office that he holds. But let me also put on record something that isn't sitting well with me, and I just wish to place this on record, since Action SA does not hold any voting rights when it comes to voting for the chairperson. And we speak about gaining public trust, and we speak about this committee putting the public first, and we speak about South Africans' eyes being on us. I don't understand when we say that we need to start off on the right foot. But how do we garner public trust here this morning when we have a chairperson that has been elected from the very party where most of these people are embroiled in? How does that make the public feel to know that today we have a member from the same family where all of these people come from? And I'm referring to the previous commissions, establishments, as actually say we have said from the onset that South Africans are tired of committees, South Africans are tired of commissions. And here we start off here today, and I say again, we don't have rights, and we have an ANC chairperson as the chairperson of this committee.
Chair,
Thank
can
you.
I call order? Please.
Honorable members, do we want to discuss this? Yeah. Do we really want to discuss it? Is this our mandate? Okay, Honorable Matthews.
No, we just want to echo Action SA's sentiment that this was, and we did release a statement as the EFF last night, actually calling on political parties that are represented in the GNU to abstain from putting forward a chairperson from those parties to present, to let the people of South Africa have some confidence in Parliament. It mustn't be an extension of government all the time. And it's not a bad thing for us right now, Chair, to be able to express that in the committee. We are here, and obviously we're going to do our best, as we always have, particularly as the EFF. But it was an opportunity that was missed by the GNU partners, starting with the ANC, to build confidence in the country, particularly on this horrific issue of crime. Thank you.
Okay. Honorable Skosana and Honorable Nomvalo, you want to speak, the two of you, or you want to share your input?
Okay, let him start.
Yeah, no, thank you very much. No, Chair, we think the Action SA is raising a genuine concern, because we want to run a credible process here, which is free from party politics. And there's no need to bully each other here with point of orders when parties are rightfully raising concerns and they are cautioning the committee to not fall into a trap of driving party politics. It's her right to do so. So we must avoid this thing of bullying each other with point of orders when it's unnecessary to do so.
Honorable Sokanyile, allow the member to speak and finish.
Thank you, Chair, once again. I know that this is a very sensitive matter. I've said this earlier, Chair. It's not about you. It should not be personal. People should not take it personal. You know, and I know some people will have heart feelings, heart failure, BP, and whatever you call it, high blood, and all those things. But as a committee here, we take no prisoners here. We are not just those, whether fifth administration or whatever administration. We must make a difference. When our term ends in this parliament, we must make a difference. There's nothing wrong with what honorable member said, Adams. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not sure why now the people are catching feelings. The issue is that if you look at the Scopa, I'll give you an example. We had Temba Kodi. There was not GNU during those. Yes, it was beyond reproach. You know, as we speak here, a member who's on suspension is still participating in parliament. So now, There's nothing wrong of discussing. Why people are being... What's wrong with that? We know that we're not going to change the decision. We are a chairperson now, yes. But the issue is that we have missed an opportunity here. It's a fact. It must be recorded as such. No problem. No one must defend anybody. No one must defend anybody. We are not kids here. Thank you, Chair.
Yeah, I hear you, Honorable Scott. You see, you are sitting next to Honorable Nonviolent. He was very calm and measured when he made his input. If we can work like him and speak the way he speaks, let's have a delicate way of processing even the most difficult of the matters. Yeah, Honorable, Sokanyile, Honorable Sangoni, Honorable Sols, Honorable Malema.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. Congratulations, even because the first time I'm speaking. No, Chair, you know what worries me? It's not about what and what, but we've missed an opportunity when the chairperson was elected. We should have raised those things then. We're discussing the terms of reference now, but we're going back, meaning that we're not happy about the chairperson that we have elected, because we should have raised it then. But we didn't do it. But now we're going back to the election of a chairperson to put in sarcastic remarks to political parties. So I'm saying that, Chair, protect me. Because to me, if we have raised those issues when we were electing the chairperson, that's why I was raising a point of order, to say that we're discussing the terms of reference now, not discussing the chairpersonship. Thank you.
No, Chair, let me just come in quickly. James, I just wanted to say there's no itemized agenda here.
Yeah, no, Honorable.
We finished with the issue of term of reference. We're done. We know what's supposed to happen now.
Honorable Skosana, please. You know, if we are going to do our work, we must first start by respecting each other. And when I listen to you speaking here, all of you said, Parliament is the highest locus of power in the Republic. That's what you said in many ways as honorable members here. But I can tell you, an ordinary South African who was working on the streets and start running to the house because they hear that Parliament is electing the chairperson of the ad hoc committee. And then when they stand before television, they see us starting to behave like this. Somebody says, but we have said it, that these people are a joke. This is how they behave themselves. What can we expect from them? We must not even be surprised when the levels of confidence decline. Please, honorable members, there may be any matter, no matter how difficult the matter is, we must always have a way to deal with that matter as prudent as possible. Can I follow the list?
Thank you. Thank you very much, Chairperson. And I think to a large extent, both yourself and Honorable Sokanyile have covered me. What I wanted to say, Chair, is that we cannot on the very first day want to collapse this process. And if we are going to have members coming here with the intention of being populist and trying to use what is a very to quote your words, what you said is a grave concern of the people. They use that for cheap political point scoring, then we are going to have a problem. When you made your opening remarks, you said the people of South Africa are looking to us on this process. There will be no stone that is left unturned. And I think that as members, we should conduct ourselves in that manner and not come here and have to defend statements that are made with the intention of garnering attention for cameras. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Sauls.
Thank you, Chairperson. Maybe I should begin by congratulating you for having been elected the chairperson of this committee uncontested. There was a democratic process here. Only one name stood. A second name was nominated, and Honorable Malema declined. So as a committee, we should start off by standing with that democratic process. That the chairperson that we have has been duly appointed, uncontested. There's no flaw in that process. I thank you, Chair.
Honorable Malema.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. There's a difference between not being happy with the ANC occupying the position of a chairperson with a person occupying the position of a chairperson. So an impression must never be created that we have a problem with you. We have a problem with the ANC occupying that position. Secondly, you, chairperson, said we are politicians. Since there's no agenda or anything, let's speak. People speak here. When people speak because you open the floor, they are told they are speaking for cameras. As if some people have got a right here to come and give us notes and tell us what to say. We are not just speaking. The chairperson said speak because it's a first meeting. So we express ourselves and all of that, and then we leave. She's raising her observation on the position of the chairperson. There's no, because her observation doesn't change anything. It will not reverse what has democratically happened, but it's important that an observation be made by a member if she so wishes, because the chair opened the floor. Nowhere do they say democratic processes cannot be questioned. She's within her right. At no point of order is necessary, because she's not going out of any agreed upon agenda item. So, and she's speaking for the first time. Action SA is speaking for the first time. All we could have done, it was to protect her and allow her to make observation, and we proceed. Not for her to be character assassinated the way people are doing now. I think she must be protected. To be called populist, to be called cameras, it's out of order. It's really unbecoming. It's unacceptable, especially when we're just starting. She has not done anything wrong, Chair, and that's a point I wanted to raise. Thanks.
Okay. The last person will be Honorable Ntuli.
No, thanks, comrade. Yeah, thanks, Chair. Almost said comrade Chair.
Don't go there.
No, I think just the observation I want to make. I think one, let's accept that the representative of the Action SA is perfectly at liberty to express her own views and her own discomfort about what her own organization and some South African perceived with regard to the process we're engaged on. But I think we need to say that both Action SA and those South Africans who may be aligned to the concern she has, I think they should find comfort in the fact that the committee has elected the chair who is not in any way fingered out on the matters that were required to investigate. In this committee, we represent different political parties. And I think our bona fide, in terms of how we're going to discharge our responsibilities in this work, must be measured and be assessed on the basis of our contributions. not on the basis of the political parties where we come from, because if we take that direction, it's going to contaminate the work of the committee. And I don't think that we want to start off in that way. I think our own approach must be that we note this concern, and we don't just dismiss it. It may very well be that there are other people who are not here who share that concern. But the assurance we need to give to her and them is that as a committee, we are going to discharge our responsibilities in a way that is consistent with what is required by the Constitution of the Republic and the laws of Parliament as members of Parliament. And there should not be a fear that because there are others who are coming from this or the other political party, this might in any way contaminate negatively the process that we are engaged on. I think we need to give each other that assurance and get our work be tested in action, as opposed to what may be our own preconceived ideas about one another as we start our work. Thanks.
Yeah. We have come to the end of this discussion, Honorable Member. I think, like Honorable Malema says, I have given you time to ventilate whatever issue you would have wanted to ventilate. So the long and short of it, Chief Whip, as you say, is that all of us are sworn to Parliament by the law of the Republic. It is not the chairperson of the law of the Republic does not apply to the chairperson of the committee alone. It applies to any one of us in this committee. If, Honorable Skosana, there is something that you see that is not in keeping with the law of the Republic, you say, El Khanyan, you are now acting out of the law of this country. If there is anything that I see from Honorable James that she does which is outside of the law of the country, let's say so. Let's do peer review. It's what will help us to discharge our responsibility. Let me tell you, if we are going to sit here and cast aspersions at each other, there is nobody who says the law we follow in this country is wrong. Let's use that law as a ruler that will straighten whatever weakness that is there in our conduct and at the manner in which we execute our responsibilities. My greatest hope and optimism is that we will execute our responsibilities in accordance with the law of this country and to the desires of the people of the Republic. There is no law of the ANC which is going to work here. I was not sworn here through the law of the ANC. There is only one law which we used to say in members of Parliament. That is the Republic, the law of the Republic of South Africa. If we are going to do anything short of the law of the Republic, we are not worthy of being public representatives. If there is anything we are going to do in this committee to put under wraps, we are failing to represent the aspirations of ordinary people who do not have a voice. It will be sheer hypocrisy on our part if there is anything that we are going to do is meant to shoot down the noble intentions of Parliament when it appointed this ad hoc committee. So at all material times, when we bring ourselves here, I'm going to make this request. Let us leave Soviet at home. Let's leave Skosana at home and bring here a member of Parliament who will represent the people of his country. If we can do that, restore everybody to their homes, to their families, and bring members of Parliament here whose intention is to represent their people across demographics, represent them to the best of our abilities, I can tell you we will be the best Parliament for the people of South Africa. The political party ideological divides will never unite us. What must unite us is the task that is at hand before us, to unearth the truth about the allegations that have been made and to provide a way forward through proposals to Parliament on how those matters can be processed going forward. I think that is sufficient, honorable members. Honorable Member James, you are a member of this ad hoc committee, and you don't belong to another God. The very same God to which you pray is the same God that we pray. The very same parliament you serve is the same parliament that we serve. The very same ad hoc committee you have been appointed is the same committee to which we all belong. And your rights cannot be made any lesser on any day by any other person. So every time you come here, there must never be anything that deflates your confidence. If you enter this door confident, stay confident until the end of the proceedings. There is nothing that makes you unwelcome here. And all honorable members, whatever has been said, the good things that have been said remain in this meeting. And anything that does not belong to this meeting shall not be followed, because it will delay us, it will derail us. Thank you so much. The meeting is dismissed.